Hi, my name's Tegan. I'm one of the owners here at Jacob's Trading Yield Rock Shop. If you haven't heard of us before, be sure to check out the description below. That'll lead you to our website where you can learn more about what we do. So today I am going to be talking about how to identify black tourmaline. So to start, we're going to look at raw tourmaline, as some of the characteristics you'll see in this is actually going to help you to be able to identify the polished version. So we're going to work through kind of a couple different grades of tourmaline, and that'll show you some different things. So this is kind of like a medium grade tourmaline, and what you're looking for is these kind of long striations going through here. So these are the way the crystals are growing. It almost looks like fibers, but it's not fibrous at all. They are quite hard, and sometimes they'll break off. So like you can see here, this would have been a piece of crystal that grew all the way, but it's broken off, it's got snapped here. So you might see breaks like that, but you're looking for these long kind of stripes. So if we move into now a higher grade piece, you're going to see less of these striations, but you're going to see more of the actual crystal structure that the crystal forms in. So tourmaline forms in kind of like a triangular shape. So you can kind of see here, it's got this triangular shape across the length. So it's going to grow kind of like in a long tube in that triangular shape. And then the tip is terminated. It's a very low termination, not like quartz where you get those big long points, but black tourmaline is going to have a very short pyramided top. So I'm just going to give you kind of more of an up close look here. Ignore this part. This is a secondary crystal growing through the opposite way. So that's not inclined to the shape of the crystal, but if you see here, there is that triangular shape, and then if this crystal grew longer, you would see that crystal grow this way, and you can really get a grasp of that kind of triangular pyramid right on the top, but really low termination. All right, so let's look at some lower grade tourmaline. So this is a larger piece of lower grade, so it's actually got a lot of other mineral inclusions in it. Typically you're going to see things like mica and quartz kind of riddled throughout the surface. So definitely watch for those other ones. You can see this is a nice chunk of mica right here. You're still going to see kind of that striation structure through it. So that's one thing that you might see is inclusions throughout. The other thing is this. So this is also black tourmaline, but it's like a higher grade point, but it's been kind of beaten and worn down. So that makes it kind of hard to see, but you're still going to see some of these features. So it's kind of hard to see any crystal structure. It's kind of hard to see which way this crystal was growing, but you're still seeing some of these flat faces of where the crystal faces were. One thing you can see when you look up close is some of those striations have been worn down, so you're going to see almost kind of like cracks and fissures in the surface. Okay, so looking at this raw piece is going to kind of segue us into looking at polished pieces. So you're going to still see on a piece that doesn't have those long ridges, you're going to see a reflective surface. So that's one thing you can look for, is that black tourmaline is quite reflective on its flatter surfaces. Even on these small faces, it's quite reflective. Not all crystals kind of show this reflection. Another thing you look for as you get into either a kind of piece that's been worn down and weathered or a tumbled piece is these kind of fissures. So this one's really easy to see because we have this stone inclusion in here that's filled in these gaps, but you're going to see these cracks and fissures still in the surface, and that's what you're going to look for. Okay, so next we're going to look at this lovely polished heart. So when you're looking at polished black tourmaline, you're still looking for these kinds of cracks and fissures in the surface of the stone. So in that really heavily included piece that we looked at earlier that had all those nice streaks, that's essentially what you're envisioning on a polished piece, is those cracks and fissures that were not able to be polished all the way out because of the texture of the surface. So now if we look at some tumbled stone, you're still going to see all these lovely little cracks and fissures. Those are kind of your telltale sign on a piece of tumbled black tourmaline. If you were to look at, say, a piece of obsidian or onyx, you're not going to get all these funky cracks and fissures. There's going to be different features that you're going to look for. So that covers the basics on how to identify raw and polished black tourmaline. If you like this video, be sure to hit subscribe so you can see more of our content. That's all I have for you today, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Cheers.